My name is Marcus Reed. I've been a trucker for 22 years, and I've seen things on the road that would give most people nightmares. But nothing. Not bad weather, not late-night breakdowns, not even the time I hit a bear with a full load going downhill. Nothing prepared me for what I saw on Route 77 last spring. I wasn't tired, I wasn't drunk or distracted. I was wide awake. And if I close my eyes, I can still see that thing watching me from the woods. I can still hear the knocking on the passenger door. I can still feel the silence that followed me for 300 miles like a damn ghost riding shotgun. If you're the type who likes long drives through the back roads at night, maybe don't watch this one alone, because this isn't just a story, it's a warning. I was hauling a load of reefer units to a site in West Virginia. Started the run just after 5 p.m. from a drop yard in Virginia. Clear skies, light traffic. Everything was running smooth. Route 77 takes you through some of the quietest parts of the state. The kind of quiet where the only sounds you hear are your tires on the asphalt and the occasional distant coyote. Around 11 p.m., I passed a little roadside diner near Bell Spring. It was closed, lights off, completely empty, nothing unusual. But as I passed, my headlights caught something just off the tree line, tall, pale, and still. At first I thought it was a road sign, then it moved just a little. A twitch of the head like it was tracking me. I told myself it was a deer, maybe a person, but it didn't blink, it didn't flinch. And its head turned too far, like an owl's. About 10 miles down the road, I saw a figure standing by the shoulder. No flashlight, no car, just standing. As I approached, I instinctively flipped on my high beams. They lit him up. He was tall, maybe 6'5", lanky, wore what looked like an old army jacket. His face was wrong, blurred somehow, like a camera out of focus, and his eyes reflected red, not like the way animal eyes do, like two tiny brake lights staring straight through the windshield. He didn't hold his thumb out, didn't wave. He just watched me. I drove right past him, checked my side mirror. Gone. I mean gone, no trace, no shadow, like he had never been there at all. I'd shaken it off by the time I hit the switchback curves near the New River Gorge. That stretch is rough even during the day, and at night it feels like the world drops away on either side. That's when I heard the knock. 3 taps, not on the door, not on the frame. On the passenger side window, I nearly swerved into the guardrail. There was nothing out there, no headlights, no car. Just my own reflection in the glass. And behind it, for the briefest second, a face, too close, pressed against the window from the outside. I hit the gas and didn't let up. For 20 miles I kept checking the mirrors, kept glancing at the passenger seat, but nothing was there. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling, like I'd picked something up that didn't belong in the cab. Something that didn't breathe, didn't blink, didn't leave. Somewhere around 2 a.m., I finally pulled off at a truck stop. I needed gas, maybe coffee, definitely a break. I kept the engine running and stepped out slowly, looking around like I expected it to be there, just beyond the pumps. But nothing. I went inside. The cashier barely looked up. I grabbed a coffee, made it strong and black, then walked back out. As I approached the cab, I heard it, a voice, from inside the truck. It said my name, Marcus. Just once, flat, monotone, like a statement, not a question. I stood there with the coffee burning in my hand. My legs wouldn't move. Then the door lock clicked, not unlocked, locked. Like whatever was inside didn't want me coming back. I circled the truck, eyes darting between the shadows. The night was still, too still. Even the crickets had gone quiet. With my heart hammering, I used the spare key I kept in my boot. I opened the passenger door slowly, expecting something to lunge at me from the dark. But the cab was empty. Sort of. The air inside was different, thick, like stepping into a sauna made of static. My ears buzzed the second I crossed the threshold. I slid into the driver's seat and looked at the mirror. There were handprints on the inside of the windshield. They were long, too long, like someone with fingers twice the length of mine had been leaning against the glass. I didn't look back, I just drove. But I wasn't alone. Something sat in the sleeper berth behind me, and it was breathing. At first I convinced myself it was the hum of the engine, the vibrations of the road. But no, it inhaled and exhaled, slow, measured, like it didn't need to but was choosing to do it, to make itself known. I reached for the rear view, hesitated. Then I tilted it. Nothing. But the breathing continued, louder now, as if mocking me, daring me to say something, daring me to acknowledge it. So I did. Whatever you are, you're not welcome here. No reply, just breath. And then, very softly, almost like a sigh, too late. I didn't stop again. Not for gas, not for food, nothing. I just kept the rig rolling, white-knuckling the wheel as the miles ticked by. And the breathing never stopped. It shifted sometimes, closer, then farther, as if it were crawling around the cab while I drove. Sometimes I saw it in the reflection of road signs, just a flicker of movement in the corner of my eye. And every once in a while, I'd catch that voice again. Marcus. Always calm, always quiet, like it knew I couldn't do anything. And it was right. As the night dragged on, I started seeing more than reflections, shapes in the trees that seemed to follow the rig, flickers in the mirrors that vanished when I turned my head. Once I caught the silhouette of something crouching atop the trailer in the shadow of an overpass, and for a split second, it seemed to be grinning. I stopped looking. I focused on the road, on the double yellow lines and the hum of rubber on asphalt. But the thing behind me wouldn't be ignored. It started whispering things I couldn't understand, like a language made of air and static. My head throbbed every time it spoke. I felt blood trickle from my left nostril. I wiped it away without thinking. I was losing time. At one point, I blinked, and 20 miles were gone. I passed a sign for a way station I didn't remember. A whole stretch of road erased. The rig kept moving, but I wasn't sure I was the one driving anymore. I saw a green highway sign flash past. Exit 233, rest area 1 mile. It wasn't part of my route. I hadn't planned to stop, but the wheel turned anyway. I swear I didn't touch it. The rig veered right like something inside was steering for me. The off-ramp was narrow, unlit. The truck's headlights cut through thick fog that hadn't been there seconds ago. My GPS went blank. Just a spinning circle where the road should be. The rest area was empty. No cars, no lights, just a concrete loop, a single building, and rows of picnic benches swallowed by shadows. I parked and killed the engine. The breathing in the sleeper stopped. For the first time in hours, the truck was quiet. Then, the passenger door creaked open, slow, deliberate, and something stepped out. I sat frozen in my seat. It didn't slam the door, didn't make a sound as it touched the pavement. I couldn't bring myself to look directly at it, just saw its shape in the side mirror. It wasn't right, too tall. Its arms hung low, almost to its knees. Its head was tilted, twitching slightly, like it hadn't yet figured out how to hold it up straight. The creature turned toward the trees and walked into them, vanishing between the trunks without a single branch snapping. I should have driven off. Instead, I opened the door and followed. The woods were silent. The air pressed against me like a wall. Every step felt like I was sinking into something older than the earth itself. Then I saw it. Standing in the clearing, waiting, its eyes, those two red reflectors, were glowing now. And when it smiled, I knew it had never been human. Its mouth opened far too wide, and it whispered, "Ride's over." I turned and ran. Branches tore at my clothes, whipped my face. The trees seemed endless, but I didn't stop. I didn't look back. The sound of something following me, fast, heavy, hungry, grew louder with every step. I burst out of the tree line and scrambled into the truck. The cab was cold. Too cold. The keys were already in the ignition. I turned them. The engine roared to life. I didn't wait. I didn't care if the road was clear. I drove straight out of that rest area like the devil himself was in the rear view. For the next 2 hours, I didn't blink, didn't breathe, just drove. But the mirrors kept showing something behind me, a shape, sometimes on the road, sometimes in the cab. And every few miles, I heard it again. "Ride's not over, Marcus." I reached the drop yard around dawn. I must have looked like hell, shirt torn, face cut, eyes bloodshot. One of the dock hands asked if I'd hit something. "Yeah," I muttered. Something hit me back. I didn't sleep that day. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw red eyes in the dark, felt breath on my neck, heard the knock on the glass. I took a week off, then another. Quit the long hauls entirely. But it didn't help. Sometimes, even now, I'll be sitting at home watching TV or trying to eat dinner, and I'll hear it. 3 taps on the window. Sometimes it's the front door, sometimes the bathroom mirror. Once it was my phone screen, off, black, reflective. "Ride's not over, Marcus." So I don't drive nights anymore. I keep the lights on, and I never, ever stop for hitchhikers, because whatever that thing was, it's still out there, and it remembers me.